journey with you. This is a space of kindness and encouragement, so let's be welcoming to everyone looking to better themselves. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or use a super chat to make sure it gets addressed. Thank you for being a part of our community. Let's make it a great night. Good morning. Happy Tuesday night live in the morning. Can you believe it? It's already Tuesday. Already Tuesday. Can you believe it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit different live format today. Chandra was going to be live with me today, but she is going to get a little thing on her elbow looked at. So Saturday, we went to this play place for our granddaughter's birthday, and they had these slides. And when you're a big person going down a slide, you go fast. They're very fast. It was a real wide slide. It was like probably 4 or 5 of me side by side could go down this slide. And you had to be careful because it's very slick, but it grabbed onto her elbow and gave her like a rug burn almost, right? So it's just been getting worse and worse. Like it's getting redder, and she's like putting alcohol on it, and she's a nurse, and she's just doing all the things. And then it's getting worse, so she's going to go get that looked at. And yes, I got lucky and didn't get any road rash or whatever, but my knees have been killing me since Saturday. My shoulder's been sore because you had to climb up into this stuff. Like, if you guys remember places like Discovery Zone or whatever, there were no tubes necessarily. Like when I worked at Chuck E. Cheese in the late 90s, I had to go up and clean the tubes out because kids would puke or poop or whatever the tubes. You had to go just clean them out. But I was my job, and I made $5.50 to do it an hour. Woo! But so basically, they got the tubes cleaned for $5. Because I mean, I don't think it took an hour. But yeah, just climbing through those, like now, just being a 46-year-old adult, 300 pounds, trying to climb through these obstacle courses in like the middle of this thing to get to a slide. And it made our granddaughter extremely happy, but I'm terrified of heights. And I know it's silly because I'm inside of a thing that even if I fall, I'm probably not going to hurt myself. I'm more likely just hurting myself going through the place itself. Like my knees are still sore, my arms and everything are still sore. Oh my goodness. Yeah, crazy stuff. I can't begin to tell you. Like, we had fun. She had fun. Oh my goodness. I have coffee today. I don't have my red cup. It's in the dishwasher right now, but welcome everybody. So glad to see all of you. Jerry, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing, my dear? I'm so glad, very, very glad to see you. I thought about messaging you on WhatsApp the other day. I looked at it and I was like, well, maybe she's busy. Lynn is in here. 22Q Cat is in the house. Good to see you, my dear. And Sherry Lynn's too. Good morning, all. And Lynn says, Chandra, question mark? Haha, Chandra. Yeah. Jeremiah is here. So speaking of Jeremiah, he's a very good friend of mine, lives up the road from me, and we've been friends for, I don't know how long. I don't even know how long we've been friends for, 15 years, something like that. A long time. I mean, when you start to think about it, it's like even longer than I thought, but I don't know, maybe we met in 2007, maybe 2008. I don't know. You'll know. I don't know. You were working at HP at the time with my buddy Jason, I think. But yeah. Anyway, he sends me a message today and he goes, "Hey, check your porch." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go out to my porch and I find this box. Now, I'm excited about this box, but first glance, I pick up the box and I look at it and it says, Super Chat, Keto Simple Live on it. Now, and it says open there. So one thing that I'm like, okay, if I didn't know where this box came from, if I didn't know who left the box on my porch, if you found a box look like this on your porch, would you be like, it's not ticking, but I mean, do watches tick these days? Like it doesn't shake. So we're gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up together. And I was teasing him about it. I was like, I don't know. And I brought it upstairs because Chandra was in the closet getting ready to go to the Minute Clinic to see her friend and kind of get stuff taken care of and get looked at. And I was like, I handed this box and she starts looking at it and she's just like, WTF. And she's like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, oh, Jeremiah left it on the porch. She goes, like, like what? Okay. So I've got my knife. Let's open it up. Got my knife. Let's open this thing up here. He taped it really well. I'm always afraid to open things. I'm going to like cut whatever's inside. Because I did that because Evelyn sent something to our granddaughter and I cut it open and cut like the handle strap on the inside. And I felt terrible about it. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel so bad about that. All right. So I got this open here, I think. Let's see if we can do a grand reveal here. So there's some Tupperware inside. I don't know what we're Christmassy looking Tupperware. There's a $20 bill on there. How awesome is that? Maybe the Tupperware has anthrax in it. We'll see what's in here. Oh, I tore the 20. Oh no. See, I told you. No, I tore the $20 bill. Oh, no, I'll put that back together like that. That looks right. That looks normal, right? Oh no, Mr. Bill. All right, so we'll see here what's in here. It's some paper towels. Better not be bugs in here. Oh, look at this. It's weapons grade pepper spray in a plant. There's that one. Are these Carolina Reapers or are these? I can't tell what these are. But I'm sure they're very, very hot. And there's this one too. This one kind of looks like, they look like, these look like they'll ruin your day. Not just your day. There's like, this is going to ruin your week. They're Mad Hatter peppers, he says. So are these like super duper hot? Like, he said not hot. They don't look like they're not hot. It's like, when somebody goes, when they're telling you about like the different kinds of snakes, and like, if red touches yellow, it's gonna be mellow, and black touches red, you're dead. I'm like, I don't care about any of it. I don't want it to do. They look hot. I'm terrified. Yeah. Whoo. Oh, Booby Goat says I've grown Mad Hatter peppers before. They're not. They're so cute. Don't put your finger in your eye. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, thank you, Jeremiah. I appreciate you so very much. Oh my goodness. We had a good laugh about the box. Like, he's like, I didn't have a white box. I was like, okay. That was a fun thing to do. I really appreciate that. And then let's see. Sean is here. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, all, he says. I'm glad you're here, Sean. You and your lovely wife, Shell. I hope you're both doing wonderful. And Barbara is here. Grandma Crochet's Corner is here. Good morning, everyone. So glad to see you, Barbara. Thank you for joining us. And people are saying hello to each other. And then here's Tanya, finally alive at a reasonable time. This is our time. Well, it's like Dr. Kilt has started going live at 7 a.m. now on the weekdays and then on Sundays as well. And I'm like, there was nobody going live at 7:30 in the morning on Sundays. And then I decided to do it. And then now Mitch has moved his 8:30 to 7, I think is what he's doing, because he was live the other day before I went live. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Sherry says, we'll be listening as I get ready for work. I am 1 to 9:30 today. Then I have to be back at 8 a.m. That sounds awful rude. Tanya has music notes. And she says, I should start getting to work, but I'm the queen of procrastination. Well, you're welcome to the right place. And Lynn says that I hope Chandra's arm is okay. Has to be something to get her to it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like when she starts to worry, I try not to worry, because only one of us should be worrying at a time. But then she gets upset with me because I'm not taking it seriously, and I'm like, only one of us needs to worry at a time, okay? And I worry most of the time. So if you're worried, I'm gonna worry, but I'm not gonna vocalize it normally. So I try to keep things copacetic or whatever you want to think about it, but so Lindy is in the house. Good morning, Lindy. She says, hey fam, I'm glad to see you. And Terry Sue is here. Yeah. And Sean goes, why am I singing Jeremiah was a bullfrog? He was a good friend of mine. And Stacy's asking, are they really made for adults? Well, they're big enough for adults to go through, and they've kind of, I guess they've said they've made it to where like parents can go up with the kids. So they're really still centered towards kids, but there's enough room if you're agile enough to go through. I'm not agile enough, and I'm not cool enough with heights, so it bothers me. And I'm like, and it's like you're trying to do things and go up things that's made for little agile bodies, like little tiny kids, to just fly up, and an adult's like trying to do things that a kid can do. And even if it's big enough and kind of wide enough for an adult to go through, it's still set up for kids, because adults don't do those things. And maybe if we were a little more active and, it's such an obstacle course type thing. I don't know. It was I just felt defeated. I don't know. Yeah, this is where Jeremiah was saying they're Mad Hatter peppers. And Lynn said, curiosity would get the better of me. I probably would open it even if I had no clue who left it. I'd be the girl where the bomb went off in my face. And Lindy says, cherry bombs. And I need to say they're not hot. And Erin is somehow she's grown them before. And Terry Sue's telling me that not to put them in my eye. I agree. And then Granny Boo too is here. Good morning, Granny Boo. I'm glad to see you. Look at that, I'm a poet and didn't even know it. All right. Oh, Naomi Jones says, if it's red and yellow can kill a fellow. Yeah, snakes. I'm not, nope, they're nope ropes. I'm a big baby. Yeah, and Tanya says they're not even a little spicy. It's like, you worry about it. I'm like, Mary T is in the house. Good morning, dear. She says, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, drinking coffee with a cat in my lap. She has to stay in. It's very hot and smoky today. Oh my goodness. It's been really chilly in the mornings here, and then it's been getting like into the mid to upper 70s. I think it got to 80 yesterday here. That's Fahrenheit. Um, and so we picked up the boy. I went and picked up our son yesterday from the airport. He has returned from Japan. His weekend jaunt across the world. Um, Before I did that, I did have the first gathering of the Dr. Berry Proper Human Diet class. It was kind of like a kind of setting the stage, first introductions. It was Nisha and Kim, and oh my goodness, I can't think of what the other lady's name was off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up and see. But yeah, it was interesting. People just asking questions, people concerned about testing and failing and not passing, and you know asking for syllabuses, and they're like, this is not the SATs, this is not the LSATs, these aren't the NCLEX, these are just you know kind of setting the stage, you know, to what's going to happen. There's going to be office hours. There's a Q&A with Dr. Berry every Friday at noon Eastern time, 11 Central. And then there's one at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern with either Nisha or Kim on Fridays. So once we've finished with our assignment for the week and finished the course, then we can kind of go and ask questions on those days. And if we're not going to be able to make it, then we can send or submit our questions or concerns, and they will address that in the chat or whatever. They'll address that in the Q&A, and then we can go back and watch that at a later time. I mean, over the next 6 months, people are going to want to go on vacation. There's going to be holidays, and there's going to be, all the things that happen with adult life. Work gets in the way, kids get in the way. They're really working to help accommodate that. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful to get my feet into that, into the all the things, because they're going to be teaching us about being a health coach, the legal side of being a health coach, the social media aspect of being a health coach, how to draw, how to find clients, how to network, all the things that really need to come into play to be a successful health coach and to make it a career, if that's something that you want to do, or even a secondary income, or just, I mean, realistically, with the price, it is something that you probably want to make money on and not just help your neighbors and friends, unless you have extra money, which I don't. But, I'm excited to get it all started. And Grandma Crochet's Corner, Barbara says, I haven't done my walk yet, which she's been doing amazing. So she's been walking from her house down to the end of the driveway, which I'm not exactly sure how long her driveway is. I'm sure she's mentioned it before, but I'm just not recollect. I don't have a recollection of that or a memory of that. So she's walking to the end of her driveway and back every day, and then you know that's where she's at in her journey right now, where that is a big part of her day, is just walking to the end of the driveway and back. And I want to celebrate that, because oftentimes we get so caught up in I've only done this, I've only lost this, I've only lost a pound, I only lost a half a pound today, or I'm down only a half a pound this morning, and or I've only, and and we're looking at our progress, and we're comparing ourselves to others. And I want to remind people, and I want to, and take this moment to congratulate, Barbara, because what it takes to get up, to stay motivated, not only running it, starting a YouTube channel, going live as often as she does, sharing as open and honest about her journey as she's been, is what I've seen in her lives. She's very candid. She doesn't hold anything back. She doesn't pull any punches. She's very open and honest like I am. And I really enjoy that because I feel that that's what we should be doing in this community is not hiding anything. There's nothing too taboo for, as far as the journey is concerned. There should be nothing too taboo, nothing too embarrassing about this journey, because the more we can share with each other and others, the more people are going to go, I thought I was the only one that had that issue. I thought I was the only one that had that problem. And I found there's like two other people in this chat today that know exactly what I'm going through. And that's very, very powerful. So, it's like you can look at that and you can say, somebody may look at her and go, well, she's only walking to the end of her driveway and back. Well, I look at that as she's walking to the end of her driveway and back, where she could have just stayed on the couch all day. And she's getting up and she's motivated and she's really putting in the work. And I think she said she was mentioning something last night, and I was cooking and making and trying a new recipe so I can get it right, see how it works, to make sure I can film it for everybody. Because it's been a long time since I've done that. And I really need to get back on the ball. I haven't been putting out content the way that I should. And that has been bothering me because I started off with this channel and I was putting out content multiple times a week. And now I go live twice a week, but um yeah. Um but yeah, I think she said she's lost 27 pounds so far. And I'm like, that's amazing. And I want to just congratulate her. And hopefully you will too, because that's what we need. The motivation, the community. We're all in this together. Terry Suze, this show time is great for me and Callie. The Thanks for being here. Well, thank you, Terry, for being here. I appreciate you so much. Naomi says, I gotta go get voucher from the cat shelter, getting mama cat spayed next week. Okay, well, be careful. And Aaron says, they're a little spicy, Tanya, but the heat goes away pretty quick. And Jeremiah says, I ate one this morning just to be sure. They are rated at 800 to 1,000, which is bell pepper. Really? Bell pepper? Like a bell pepper is only 1,000? Because there's like zero. Because I thought like a jalapeno was about 3,000, 3,500. So I figured there'd be at least some kind. There's like zero spice in a bell pepper for me. Let's see. Much better tasting than the habanadas last year. I have some hot wax peppers, Anaheim and Cayennes. Terry Sue said, I read about the Mad Hatters. They are a sweet pepper, easily grown, basically a nightshade veg like a bell pepper. Okay. All right, I've got a couple of them here. Maybe I will try them out with some food later today, and we'll see how I like them. Sharon Holloway is in the house. Good morning, all. Just hopping in between morning tasks. Well, we love you, Sharon. I'm glad to see you this morning. And speaking of the recipe that I was working on, so I've been working on this chaffle recipe. It is a carnivore chaffle recipe. It is easy. It is let's see, Colorful Dory. If you're not familiar with her, you can go and find her. I follow her, and we've talked on Instagram. And I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to her YouTube channel, but the Colorful Dory. I'll have to put it in the description because it is a little difficult to find her channel for some reason. Some channels are just harder to find than others. But she just took mayonnaise and egg and whipped them together and made a chaffle out of it. And then I tried it, but it was too thin for me, and the chaffle came out very very brittle. So I've added another ingredient to it to make it more solidified. So I'm excited to hopefully get that out there, get the ratios together and get those ratios correct. And then we will see how you guys like it. So far, I made a batch I made like a quadruple batch last night, because each batch I make now needs to be 4 waffles big, because I've got the big waffle maker. I, and so I made that. and they cook about 7 to 8 minutes. But you get four waffles out of it, or four chaffles, if you will, they're the square ones. And Speaking of chaffles, I want to give a shout out to Andy. She is on her way going to see her granddaughter. We appreciate you, Andy, and I hope you have a safe drive when you're listening to this and have a good rest of your day. Um, but yeah, and then I packed them all up and put them in the fridge. And then this morning I was making them into breakfast. I made some into breakfast sandwiches for the granddaughter. Put them in the toaster, dropped them down and got them back out, and they were like sizzly, and like you can tell. I mean realistically it's egg and mayonnaise, and I use Chosen Foods mayonnaise from Costco. It is a avocado oil, really really clean, one of the cleanest ones you can find easily. For some reason my local Walmart doesn't carry it, but thankfully right now Costco does, and they carry like the 32-ounce jar. So I got 2 jars of that. I think they were $8 a jar, which 32 ounces of mayo. I mean, it's a probably cheaper than I could make it myself, because I think if I'm buying the avocado oil and the egg and then I'm making that much, it probably would take me more. It would probably cost me more to make it than I can buy it. So I don't mind spending that much, knowing how much it would cost me to make it, and then it doesn't store as easy when I make it. So it doesn't last as long when I make it. So I'm okay with that. You can utilize whatever mayo you want. You can make your own and use, and I just have store-bought eggs. I have run out of my pasture-raised eggs, but long ago. But I think they're very good. The girl liked them for breakfast this morning. I ate whatever she didn't eat this morning, and I thought they were very good. I just put, sausage, egg, and cheese on it, and they were really good. And I think they're simple, they're easy, they're they're not low calorie by any stretch of the imagination, because four waffles has 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise and an egg. I think, is it one egg or three? Is it 3 eggs? 3 eggs and 6 tablespoons, because her recipe was for a single dash mini for two, and it was 1 egg. And then I had to make that bigger because my waffle iron is bigger, so I had to up it and add an extra egg. So, and I had to accommodate for the mayo as well, and then the other ingredient I had to accommodate for that as well. But I will let you guys know that when I get to the video. But It's simple, eat ingredient you can get at any grocery store. So it's just so easy. I can do it. I bet you it's so easy that Rachel could do it as well. And over at Two Crazy Ketos. But yeah. Oh, and Tanya says, oh, because they look like habaneros. They look like they're going to burn your face off. Carrie is in the house. Good morning, Carrie. I'm glad to see you, my friend. He said, what's a knight's favorite fish? Swordfish. Grouper. I don't know. And Stacy says, when my children were little, I wouldn't let them play in those areas if they were adults playing on them. Maybe I was overprotective, but too many perverts. You can never. Well, I mean, we're right there with them in this instance, and she wanted us to go up and down the slides with them, and mommy and daddy were there. There's a lot of mommy and daddies in this place, and it was early in the morning, and it was like, we're all there. So I mean, we were all there. It's like the place designed for it. It was really big, though. There's a lot of space for seating, and they had an even small place for smaller children, like kids in diapers. They had a kids in diapers section off to another side. Then like a dark, like a black light room kids could go and play in. Yes, I think that's kind of nice that there were so many parents up there with their kids, and even like, yeah, I'm sure, I don't think we were the only grandparents up there either, but yeah. And Jerry said, Jerry in the middle. Yeah. So yeah, I know it was Kim and but Dr. Barry was not on the live last night. He was not into that keynote last night. It was Kim, Nisha, and another one. I can't remember what her name is. But no, it was Kim Howerton, Nisha, and then another woman that I can't remember. Let's see. And Aaron says I should be walking. I've only got 900 steps charging my phone. Well, I have no doubt you're going to get over all the things. You're going to get your 17,000 steps. Sharon says switching over to ear hustling. I have a lot of kooks to get started for fermented pickles this morning. Oh my goodness. And Jerry says, someone thought my healing hip surgery video posted walking on my walker was funny. Rude. Uncouth. Well, you have to remember, and one thing that I'll tell you about social media, and I mean, we all kind of know, but realistically, I think most of the times people watch videos and some people either A, don't know how to properly react. It's a bot and it's just reacting in the way it was programmed and doesn't know what it's doing. So it's like the thing is like I would take when it comes to YouTube, nothing's personal. If it's negative, nothing's personal. It's all, I mean, really, when it comes to comments, you're going to get those really great comments and they're going to stick with you. But you got to take the bad ones and just realize, that's just engagement and that just keeps you moving forward so you can do the real work of getting the people that need to be helped. And, people are going to laugh. People are going to be mean. People are going to be like, I've had people tell me like, why don't you clean your stove? And I'm like, why don't you shut your mouth? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm usually way too nice about things. And that's just how I am. I'm too nice. I'm too calm. I'm too relaxed a lot of the times. So when I do get upset about something, people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. And Mary T says, we're having a late in-season heat wave. It is cooler in the morning when I would normally walk, but breathing is necessary when walking. So I guess I'll skip it today. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, it's great here, And Jeremiah sent me a picture of him eating this pepper. Mm. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Barbara says, I've made it beyond the driveway now to the corner of my street. Well, see, look at that. That's amazing. That's like, and I know it's not the same, but I remember when I had my hernia surgery and I was like walking like halfway down the hall and back, and then I was walking to the end of the hall and back, and then like walking around the unit, and then get home and walk to the end of the street to like the stop sign and back. And I'm like, I'm done for the day, or I'm done for now. And then you just have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to stay consistent. And that's just one of the things that I always want people to realize is when somebody sees you for the first time, they don't know where you are in your journey. They don't know if you're at the end, the beginning, the middle. They don't know. So they may see, you walking to the end of the driveway or to the end of the street and back, the corner and back, and they may think, well, that's not very inspiring. But I mean, realistically, it all should be inspiring. Seeing people out there doing things, recording themselves, putting themselves out there, being vulnerable, being, as open and honest as Barbara has been so far that I've seen in the last couple of weeks. I just want to say, it's truly inspirational. There's so many of you in here are inspirational. I should say every single one of you in here are inspirational to me because you show up. You're here. You're doing the best that you can, and that's all we can ask of anybody is you're doing the best you can. And, a lot of you are overcoming things. You're having like hips replaced and you're having, surgeries and you're having issues and medical issues because none of us are here because we're healthy. None of us come to this live stream because we're already healed and ready to go. Almost every single one of you are here because you're trying to correct something from the past. You're trying to overcome something. and we're here to overcome it together. And that's powerful. So just the fact that you all show up week in, week out, whether it's Tuesday or Sunday or whatever day that I end up going live, whether Chandra's here or not, we all are in this together and we have to celebrate all of it. The small, the big, the non-scale victories, all of it. And I just want this to be an overwhelmingly positive place. That's what I need. And Stacy is asking, is anybody going to Low Carb for Better Health coming up soon? We are leaving here on the 10th, stopping and playing along the way, both directions. I wish I was going. I even had an opportunity to stay in a hotel for free. But with everything going on right now with the house and everybody, it's just probably not going to happen for me, unfortunately. I was really hoping things would work out, but it's just like the ticket's $160, and then driving there and back is gas money, and then food there and back, and all the things there and back. It's just not on the cards right now because we are spending a lot. Like trying to, like we had the boys' dogs this weekend, and I mean I know he's going to be paying us back, but then we've got all the kids moving in, and there's going to be some things that have to happen with them living here. And as much as I wish I was going, it's just not on the cards for me. So I need you guys to take video if you're going to be there, take plenty of pictures because I'm going to be missing it and I wish I was there very much. And Amy says, sorry, late. How rude. How rude, Amy. By the way, Amy, I was talking about our little meeting we had last night when it was Nisha, Kim, and then I couldn't remember the other person. I couldn't remember the name of the other person that was there. And I know she's not huge on social media. I don't think she has a YouTube channel. She's just a health coach. And she is involved with the Dr. Berryverse, but I don't know. Yeah. You're very welcome, Barbara. You're so very welcome. And Rockin' Keto Amy says, I was studying for the PhD class. Yeah. Yeah, and Tanya says, I only lost 30 pounds, but that is no small feat in menopause. Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter. You lost 5 pounds, or you lost 2 pounds, or you've lost 100 pounds. You have done something. Just losing any kind of weight in of itself is a big deal these days because the general consensus is we should gain weight as we age. That aging means gaining weight. We should be just gaining a little bit of weight is no big deal. And we talked about this on my Sunday Live. If you take into account calories, okay? If you are because there's a lot of people out there who talk about calories, but if you have just 30 extra calories a day, just 30 calories extra a day, which is, I mean, I can Google here, like, what is a 30-calorie snack? Let's see. 30 calories is a small apple, or is a small apple slice, half a cup of blueberries, half cup strawberries, 1 kiwi, vegetables, half a cup of baby carrots, half a cup of broccoli, half a cup of cucumber slices, half a cup of spinach, protein, half-ounce trail mix, half cup edamame, 1 small hard-boiled egg, which I thought that was, I couldn't remember how many calories an egg was. Let's see. 1 grains, 1 small whole wheat cracker, half cup air pop popcorn, half cup rice cake, 1 small slice of whole grain bread with avocado, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter on apple slices. I mean, this doesn't tell me, I don't know, like, but I was just like, what is a 30-calorie snacks? It's like healthy snack options with around 30 calories. So if you have just 30 extra calories a day on top of whatever your baseline is, so if you are not in a deficit, and I'm saying this all in quotation. So if you are, say your body is is perfect, and it runs at 2,500 calories every day. You need to eat 2,500 calories or less to lose weight or to maintain, or you start to gain. If you have just 30 extra calories a day over the course of 20 years, that's 62 pounds, because 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. So if you're going by calories, just 30 extra calories a day means over 20 years, you're gaining an extra 62 pounds. That's why I'm saying, that's why I think we have that idea that we should be gaining weight as we age because we're eating the wrong stuff. Mary T says, there is no only on this journey. I love the support from this community. No one gives me the side eye here. I mean, that's what we have to do. We have to be here for each other. We have to be the support system, because we don't know who's alone at home, because we don't know who's alone in this struggle. So many of you do live with a partner or a spouse or kids in the house who don't eat the same way that you do, or don't understand the way that you do. And not that they may be trying to sabotage you, or maybe trying to not be as supportive as they could be as a spouse, a partner, kids, whatever, roommate, whatever your situation is. There's always something, and you have to have somebody that understands what you're going through, whether it's in the keto community, carnivore community, just this overarching proper human diet community. We have to realize we need people who understand our daily struggles. Just like if you are like a tax accountant, you want to talk with other tax accountants to air out like what your frustrations are. That's why coworkers go out and have a drink sometimes after work to talk about the job that irritates them, because you go home. It's like, Chandra can call me on her way home from work and talk about stuff. And she uses the jargon, the lingo, all the nursing talk that I'm like, sometimes they ask her what she's talking about and sometimes they don't, because realistically, she just wants to get it out. She wants me to hear her and me to hear that she's, what she's frustrated, if she lost a patient, whatever the case is. If a patient passed that day, whether it was, their time, or things just didn't go right at all. Because if she's in an ICU, sometimes her patients, it's just time. And nobody likes it that it's that way, but that's the way life is. And, and she's even mentioned that she's glad that sometimes she's there to make sure that they pass peacefully and all that stuff, but she still needs to talk about it on her way home, because you just kind of have to get that out. You can't let that simmer sometimes. You just kind of get it out and let it go. Get it out and let it go. And then, there's the same thing. She'll talk to me and I'm listening. It's going in here and I'm hearing her, but it's going out that way, because I cannot keep all of that, because I am a person that I will keep it and I don't need it, and it will bother me. That's part of who I am. So I have to be very mindful when I am listening to her, that I understand myself. And again, that is very important for this community and overall, is we have to understand ourselves. We have to know who we are. And hopefully part of your journey, your health journey, is finding out who you are, what works, what doesn't work. And when you start to find out what works, lean on that and understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and understand that play to your strengths to help avoid your weaknesses. So, I don't know if that truly makes sense, but Julie in the Pines is here. Good morning, my dear. Glad to see you. She says, good morning, Dustin, and all of you guys. Hey, you guys. There we go. Rick is here. Shuckaducky, quackity, quack, quack. I gotta get my Darkwing Duck over here. Yes. Duck, duck, duck. I've got a sound effect and I put it into my player. When I hit the button, nothing happens. So when I get my office finally moved, it actually has to happen today. The kids have started moving their stuff in. This room has to be cleaned out so they can put the bed in here so she can sleep here tonight. Oh, I've been I've been dragging my feet. So dragging my feet because I don't want to give up my office. It's my space. But I know it's for our girl and she needs her space more than I do. I'm going to be setting up in our room. And well, that'll come with its own set of issues, but we'll cross those bridges when we get there. Oh. Let's see. Helen is here. Good morning, Helen. Glad to see you. Oh my goodness. So glad to see. If you don't know Helen, she's awesome. She's got her YouTube channel. She puts out content like every single day. So go and watch that. Go and watch that content. Follow her along. She's in the UK. I've been sending her stuff about like grocery stores, like what I've been finding. Like I went to Kroger yesterday and they had cheese slices, $1.49 a package. So I was like, I'll buy 5 packages because it seems like whenever I buy cheese, either it goes bad or it's gone like instantly. So I never quite know what's going to happen when I buy cheese because I don't eat a lot of cheese. Sometimes if I do, it's going to be string cheese, like whole milk string cheese. I love that a lot. But I mean, I'll go through phases where I don't touch cheese. It's weird because I put cream in my coffee. Or sometimes I just really like, just you take a skillet and you just load it down with cheese and you kind of melt it till it gets crispy and you fill it full of like lunch meat or something and then roll it over. And it's like a nice crunchy, like cheesy burrito thing. So there's that too. So, and Mary is asking Carrie how his new job is. So I'm excited to hear about that. Carrie says, the new job is wonderful. Just need more people working. Yeah. Carrie says, yesterday I had my first time ever to have Labor Day off and paid from the new job. That's amazing. So Chandra found out that she had gotten to a point where she was no longer accruing any vacation because she had too much. Like they have like a limit. Like you can only go to so much hours of vacation in a year or whatever, or at a time. But she didn't realize that the way her job works is they're like if a holiday falls on a day that she doesn't have to work, like her scheduled days are Saturday, Sunday. Those are the days she has to work, Saturday, Sunday. So Labor Day or like this year, like Christmas is her day this year, so she does work Christmas. But 4th of July, I think 4th of July and Christmas were her days this year. So like Thanksgiving Day, she doesn't have to work, but she'll get paid for it because she's not working and it's not her day to work. So she will get paid. They'll give her the PTO for it. So then she can continue to accrue PTO because they can accrue so much PTO per hour or whatever. And because she only gets so many days off, she doesn't have opportunities to use the PTO. So she only gets, 4 days off a year is what she's allotted because of her contract, because she is a weekend option. So her scheduled days are Saturday, Sunday. So, but I mean, but if you think about it, then she takes 2 days off. She gets 11 days. So she gets from like, so she gets off work on a Sunday night. She has that Monday all the way through to that whole next 2-week Friday or whatever. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. And I wanted to show you. So, and one thing that I was talking, like, if you watch normally on our lives on Tuesday when we're downstairs, we use this. So this is Hollyland. This is a wireless microphone kit. So this right here will go to a camera. These two are the mic things here, and then there's like a little like a couple of things that go to your phone. But this is big and bulky, and it was expensive. Like this was like $150. And it sounds fantastic. But they have a newer, smaller version that I wanted to get. And I actually had a little bit of extra cash. And I got this one. So this one's easier for me to bring with me. So because Helen is trying to get me to do to do vlogging, and I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it is. Like I kind of feel like I do a lot of talking on my lives each week, so I don't know what I'm gonna talk about when I'm vlogging, and just I don't know. We'll find out. But this is cool. So it's a small little footprint, but this one is obviously like, and it's got the two little transmitters inside, or like this. These are the microphones, and this in the middle plugs into your phone. So this just kind of comes out and plugs into your phone. So this is a USB-C. So it just plugs right at the bottom of your phone. But I have an adapter because I have a case on my phone, so it doesn't fit right. So I have to have an adapter. So it, yeah, that'll work better. But I got that so I can start doing the vlog and stuff. We'll see how it works out. We'll see if I actually get around to it. I'm gonna try. Gonna try. Jerry's gonna hit the shower. Carry on as I listen. Carry on my wayward son. Anyway, let's see. And Tanya says, Jerry, yes, it's gonna be a good day. Yes. Amy said, I had a terrible weekend. My kitty ran away. She finally came back late last night, but I'm dealing with the effects of cortisol and I gained 5 pounds. Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. That was one thing I wanted to talk about because our boy went and picked him up from the airport, get him home, and he's trying to get stuff he's trying to get his car loaded up because he parked his car in our driveway while he was gone. And his dog gets out. So one dog we boarded because that dog is not good around us and was growling and aggressive. And we didn't want that dog around our granddaughter because, without him, he can control the dog. That dog doesn't listen to us. But anyway, his other dog, Nova, is has been trained a little bit more, and she's fun now. She likes us, and she's silly, and she listens, and she will sit and all that stuff, and she'll do like a normal dog. But all this is all while on, like, if you're outside on leash, she's fine. She gets off a leash, she is gone until she's tired. Then she'll come back. So she got out and was chasing our cat, and they were like inches apart. Like the cat's flat out just booking it. The dog's right behind him, and I'm like, oh man, like you can't get her to listen when she's off leash. Nothing. Oh, that's the one thing we need to work on the training is when she's off leash, the off leash training. Oh my goodness. But yeah. And so, but when she came back, she jumped in his trunk of his car and just laid there. I'm like, are you kidding me? But yeah, we've had like our cat went missing for like a month or so. And he ended up at like a neighbor's house, like around the corner or whatever. And they just had him in their garage. I'm like, come on now. But now that kitty is gone and we miss him. He was a good kitty cat. Let's see. Josephine C says, howdy, beautiful people. Thank you for being here, Josephine. Glad to see you. And yeah, for sure. We're glad that your kitty cat is back, Amy. And I hope that you can rest easy now. Nice. It's like when all the dog is gone yesterday, like when we the other dog, the kids moving in and bringing their dogs. Oh, I don't want dogs living here and more cats. Ugh. That's my life though. Lynn says, I'm such a softy big baby. I cried over her and cried again when I saw she was home. Oh yeah. Well, that's very nice, Lynn. And Mary saying that she's so very happy that your baby came home. My fur babies are the only kids I have now. I would be lost without them. Like, I like animals when they're not mine. I think it's a responsibility that I don't want. There's a companionship side to it, but I just didn't grow up with animals, so it's not something that's ingrained in me. And now that like the kids have moved out, I mean they're coming back, but they had moved out and we had been like, a good year or so. kind of empty nesters in a way. Like, I mean, they've all kind of been here and gone. Like, like they'll come at like they break up with a girlfriend, or they'll come and stay, or they'll want to like apartments in between apartments or whatever, and they'll stay. And it's different now that they're grown, but like there's just something to a peaceful, quiet house, and no one needs anything. You don't have to feed the cat, walk the dog, let him in, let him out. You can come. Like, there's just something to me. Like, I just need that. Like, so that's gonna be the hardest thing about my office being gone. I could come in here and close my door. Nobody bothers me in here. Chandra didn't even come in here. Nobody came in here except for the granddaughter every once in a while. But I could come in here and close the door, and this was my place. This is my place to go and just shut out the world. Now, I am thankful, and I am, and I have the ability to move all of this to our bedroom. There's enough space to do it. And I'm going to be able to continue to make content and do lives and do all the things that I've done before. But there is that component missing, that I don't have a door to shut. I mean, the door in our bedroom, but that's not the same. It's because, I mean, there's a bathroom in there, and like it's Chandra's space too. It's our shared space. It's her and I's space. She has, I mean, she doesn't have a door to close on her and her eBay stuff over here, over that way. But she has all her stuff. She has all the shelving, all of the inventory, her desk set up, her computer, and she just goes in there and sits and just works the day away. And nobody, I mean, I don't bother her unless she asks me to bring her something. I'll bring her food or drink or whatever. The granddaughter will come up and play and sit in there with her sometimes. The kids will talk to her sometimes when she's in there, but it's still like her space. And like the girl's gonna have this room now, and that's gonna be her space. And then like the other kids, like the kids downstairs, we put curtains up downstairs in the formal living room area where it was the girls' playroom. Now the boys are gonna share it. They're gonna sleep down there. Then the mommy and daddy will be in that the other bedroom. And it's like I can still go up there and close the door, because like mommy and daddy said they don't want a TV in their bedroom, which means the only TV they're going to have is the TV that we have downstairs. So they're going to be watching what they want to watch downstairs. And and I liked spending time by myself downstairs, but it just means I will probably be kind of forced to be upstairs more, and maybe that'll get me working and doing more content. But at the same time, Shannon's like, I don't want you locked in the room all the time. And I'm like, well, where am I going to go? And I don't know. But I mean, that's just weighs heavy on me. It weighs heavy on me. And because like I've had for the last like 5 years, 4 years, a place where, I mean, it started off as a place for me to work. It's why I worked from home, and this was my office because, as you're working from home during the day, you have random meetings and you have all of that, and a place to come and shut the door. And then it became my creation space, doing the YouTube and editing videos. And so I mean, it's like there's a mourning period, and it's been weeks and weeks, and we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks. And I've just been dragging my feet and not wanting to get rid of this, because this is my spot. This is my refuge, if you will. So I mean, no, and I try to be mindful that I mean, we're doing this and we're lucky to be able to do what we are for our kids and stuff. And I shouldn't be too upset about losing this, but there's a part of me that's like, it is difficult to give it up, because having that space just to close yourself off and just kind of have the space to relax is huge. And that's going to be gone for a few years. So I mean, I'll be fine, but you know mm, just something that I've been dealing with mentally, I guess. And Amy said, "Thank you, Lynn. I cried too. I was walking the neighborhood last night, passing out flyers. When she snuck back in, I plan to tell her story on my other channel. I look forward to hearing that, Amy." Let's see. Bride's Biscuit is here. Sup, fam? Glad to see you, dear. So glad to see you. And let's see here. And Jerry in the middle of the forest says, but the laughter is a person in our WhatsApp group, 100% different kind of rude. Oh, really? Oh, Tom, we'll talk about that in the chat that you and I have, because that's messed up. I'm sorry about that, dear. What, Helen? Keep being amazing. Thanks for being good friends, supporting my channel. 100%, 19.99 pounds. Sterling, thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. That means the world to me. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Bridesmaids says, we're out here doing the GD thing. 100%. Out here, we're doing it. Yes. And hanging out with Jen is, hey, y'all. Well, welcome. She's one of the people that I've met over on Barbara's channel. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. Rick says, what am I trying to overcome? Social awkwardness. I don't mean, I don't know. Maybe have some cake. I don't know. I don't know. I know it's not your thing, but like, I don't know. When was the last time you had ice cream? Bridesmaids just said the amount of ducks and iguanas per square foot. And Terry says, Rick, if you don't know, we can't help you. Yeah, and Helen's right. She says, everyone who comments nasty stuff on my videos, I thank them for pushing my videos out wider. I love it. Yeah, just thank them. Thank you for your comment. I'll take it under advisement. You know? Oh, Coach Alyssa. Okay, I met her at KPL. Very nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was like, I just couldn't remember her name. She's not someone that's like in my thought process on a normal basis. I know that she's a person and I know she's around, but she's not like a creator necessarily. So I don't, it's just kind of out of sight, out of mind, really. I know I'll get to know her a lot better as this course goes on, though. Mary says, some people are such a-holes to people documenting their journey. I have been honored to meet many of you, and I am amazed at some of the stories. So many have come so far. Yeah, I think a lot of times, and I've heard this from people, because I go down these weird Reddit rabbit holes, and some people are like, there was also another forum or somewhere I saw somebody talking about when you say, I don't eat sugar, or I don't eat meat, or I don't eat vegetables, or I don't eat whatever, I don't eat even if you don't eat meat, whatever you are doing, when you tell somebody that you are on a restriction of some sort, whether it's a weight loss journey, health journey, religious journey, whatever the reason people do things, fasting, whatever, giving up meat, whatever. Whenever somebody says something like, I don't eat that, the argument that I hear from people is people hear that as confrontational. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat carbohydrates. They take that as confrontational. They take that as you're better than me because you don't eat that. And it's all internalized. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the person who says they don't eat carbohydrates. It's all the other person. The other person internalizes that and says, oh, they must think they're better than me because I know I probably shouldn't eat this much sugar, or I shouldn't do this or whatever. Or maybe they don't, but they internalize it and they go, well, they think they're better than me. And we all have that. We all have people who will say things and they may not intend it to come off the way that it does. And a lot of it is internalized. That's like the whole idea of triggered, like you said something that triggered me. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know your triggers. And obviously we see posts and stuff on Facebook, and we see posts around the internet that have trigger warnings on them, that obvious things that people could be truly bothered by, you know, horrendous things that people may have gone through that could be triggering to some. And I understand it's, kind of like, like the idea of putting like the strobe and flash warnings at the beginning of shows. They're going to have a lot of stroby, flashy lights in it because that could cause an epileptic response. I understand. But a lot of times people are going to talk about their daily lives and they have no idea what you've gone through. And you may take what they say personally and internalize that as something directly against you. And they have no idea who you are. Whether it's innocuous as I don't eat meat or I don't eat vegetables or I don't eat sugar, whatever it is. We have to be mindful, and it's not always so easy, but we have to be mindful when we're talking with somebody, even if we do know somebody. It doesn't matter how well you know somebody, there's always things about them and things about you that you each do not know. There's things about your spouse you've been married to for 50 years that you don't know about, things they haven't told you because they don't have to share everything with you. Even if they think they've shared everything with you, maybe there's things that they never thought to share with you. That's like, sometimes like Shannon and I will get in a tussle or whatever you want to call it because I didn't tell her something or, whatever. I didn't mention something. And I'm like, I never imagined in a million years that would be even something I should even mention. It didn't even occur to me to mention it. It wasn't something that I even thought about. It was just and I mean, these things happen in relationships or friendships or when you're talking with a stranger, like, and we've all been in those situations where, like you say, I blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, I don't do that. Okay. All right. It's not that deep, but we do have to remember that we can't internalize everything that somebody says. I remember funny story. But it really bothered me at the time. I remember I was sitting there talking with a friend of mine and his new girlfriend at the time. We were sitting there together talking. And I met her sister for the first time. My friend's girlfriend's sister was at this party or in the same area. We were playing cards or whatever. And she was in the house. And I was like, "Your sister's really pretty." Now, how am I supposed to know that she has some long history of feeling that everybody always thinks her sister's prettier than her? That's not what I meant by it. That's not even what I said. I was like, "Wow, your sister's really pretty." I didn't know her at all. I didn't know her sister had just come in. I just learned her name. And maybe I shouldn't have said your sister's pretty, but it was in my head. I said it. I'm in my 20s at the time. I'm probably drinking too. We're playing cards. But I mean, it was in my mind an innocuous thing to say. But she internalized that as, "Wow, you're ugly. Why aren't you pretty like your sister?" And to the point that like my friend was kind of getting on to me about it too. And I'm like, you know what I mean? At that time, you just kind of apologize and, try to smooth things over because you're not digging yourself out of a hole you didn't even realize you were digging. But we internalize things. We don't realize we do it. And everybody we talk to is kind of doing it when we're talking, having conversations. I mean, even right now, like I'm talking and there's people maybe internalizing what I'm talking about and kind of maybe I'm doing that. Maybe, you know what I mean? It happens. We take the interactions that we have with others and we fill it full of our own experiences, I guess. And I'm not any kind of person that talks about this stuff very much. But it's just I don't know what's in my mind right now. But anyway, let's see. Let's get back to some of this stuff. Amy says, "Tanya, I'm in menopause. It's at PETA. Yes, Coach Alyssa, she coached me. Oh, that's fantastic. And Rick says, I never gain weight. Let's see. Uh, Amy's talking about hot flashes. Mary says, menopause does end, then life really begins. Uh, oh, Mary T, she was dark hair and was pregnant at KPO. Oh, I did see her at KPO. Okay, because I was under the impression that that was Nisha and Ken's like assistant. I thought that that was their assistant. I didn't know that was she was a coach. Because I remember she cut me in line at KPL and was like, and put a plate together for Ken and Nisha. And Terry says it's weird how people always want an exact reason why someone died. The blanket term "it was their time" doesn't fly anymore. And I mean, if you're talking with a nurse or a doctor, and then they should be able to give you a little bit more of like, well, yeah, was it their time? Sure, but it was their time because of, I mean, she's in the ICU, so she works ICU, so there's a reason they're there. So, but I mean, I think on the outside of it, we have to understand that we all have our time. And hopefully when that time comes, it's peaceful. Rick said the electric company. Yeah, Rick said Dustin will. Yeah, as soon as I figure out why it won't play, I put it in the machine. I've got a duck quacking in here, and I've got it set to this pad, but it doesn't do anything. So I don't know how to. I have to once I move offices, and I'll really dig into what's going on. Terry said, "You in the room yakking while Chandra's trying to sleep." That won't happen. So that means I won't be doing any really late night things, or I mean, I'm so the way I'm planning to set my office up is like in the on one of our wall on the back wall of our room is going to be the curtains up like this, so I'll be sitting against the wall facing the bed, but I've got this big huge like backdrop. It's like 7 feet by 7 feet or whatever. It's big. So and I think I've even got an extra tube to make it even longer. It just doesn't fit in this room, but it will be longer to fit in the other room. And I've got curtains to go on it. So I can set that in front of my stuff. So it'll be sitting like in front of my desk out that way where the camera is on the other side of the lighting and stuff. And hopefully that'll kind of keep some of the light, and it'll also help me on my side to keep some of the sound from bouncing around so there's not like an echo, because on this side of my room it's dead. You step over 2 feet that way and it's like ping pong ball, like bang bang, like you can talk and it just reverbs around the room. So I mean, and when you're doing this type of stuff, you do want that deadness sound to not reverberate around the room because it sounds weird. And then, but I also want light. I want control of the light. I want control of when we're downstairs, the sun's behind us. And even though I've got a light on, you can't see us. And we don't have a lot of other places to do those lives. So I've got these chairs. I got a chair behind me and a chair over there. They're identical. I'm going to set them up there. Hopefully, maybe we can do lives up there as well. So we can kind of do more if we have time. And then we can sit in the chairs and relax and talk with you guys. But it'll all see. We'll see how it plays out. I got a stand from Amazon that'll hold my TV because I've got this 65-inch TV up here and it's against this wall, but I don't have the way I need to set my office up or to set my studio up in the bedroom. I won't have a wall to put the TV on. So I got this TV stand by Omicron or something like that. It's a brand. and it's real sturdy. It's heavy, and so it'll be like it'll have these wheels, and they come out on like legs come out wide, and then it holds up to a 90-inch TV. So this 65-inch TV, because that's really what I'm editing on and doing all kinds of stuff with. So yeah, hopefully I'll get it all set up, and hopefully it'll work. The only problem I have with some of this is the ceiling fan, where the ceiling fan is on the ceiling of our room, and I may have to lower some of the stuff to make it fit so the ceiling fan goes over it or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have to see how it all works out. Mary T says, "Poor Chandra, tough job. I started a new job this spring in the child protection office. The stuff needs to be left at the office. Hard to do sometimes." Yes, that's why she does not work with children. She doesn't work with children at all. Because there's so many bad things. Like even now, like we were watching a show on Netflix called The Sandman, and they were at this in one of the episodes. They're at this serial killer convention. It was called a serial convention, and they had all types of serial killers. And obviously, there was one there who specialized in kids, which awful. I don't like it. I didn't want that in the show, but I mean, if you're in a room full of serial killers, I guess it would stand to reason that there'd be one. But I mean, if you've watched the show, you understand what it is. But like, just that bothered me, and just like things bother me, and so I could imagine like her telling me about that. We would both be miserable. So there's no way she's going to do that. A buddy of mine was doing police work at he was doing like security police work for Riley Children's Hospital in the ER, and he had to stop because he couldn't handle it anymore. He's got 4 kids. He's like, the idea that you're going to see somebody come in and you're going to look at that kid and you're going to see who comes in with them, knowing they did whatever that kid is going through, and you can't do anything about it. No, couldn't do it. I would be in jail. I can't. So, I mean, the thing is like, least luckily that Chandra works ICU and they don't get kids. So adults, I mean, she does deal with people who are 20s, 30s that pass away and stuff. But like, the kids aspect, I couldn't do it. I couldn't expect child protection. I would want to protect the children, but it would be so hard for me. I couldn't handle it. I wouldn't be able to mentally do it because I would take it too personal. You almost need like a cold, calculated person to really be efficient at that job. But then the bureaucracy would take over, and then like how much you're actually helping the kids. See, even now, like I can't even internalize it. I can't. It makes me itchy. Like I can't do it. And Rick says my mic has a wire. So does HBO. It's got the wire. But yeah, I mean, this microphone's got a wire. See right here. Mary T says, "You always have good things to say, Dustin. You'll be a great vlogger." I'm going to try. And Amy says, "Is there a lightning adapter for that?" Yeah, so you can buy the lightning version, but what I would do is if you want to get one of these, like this one came with both. This one right here was like $130, $120. It came with both USB-C and lightning. But this one came with USB-C or lightning, but you could get the USB-C because all phones going forward are going to be USB-C for the foreseeable future. So lightning is done. Apple doesn't make anything with lightning anymore. So I would buy the USB-C, and then I have a couple of lightning to USB-C adapters downstairs because of the other adapter that I have that is a lightning adapter. I can put that on and use it in my phone too. So just in case I need to. So that way it works out. Lynn says, "I totally understand Chandra's great work schedule. I work 7 nights on, 7 nights off. So it took a week of vacation. I was off for 3 weeks." Wow. It was already off. I was already off 26 weeks a year with that schedule. That's pretty amazing. But was it like was it 12 hours a night or what was that? And Lindy says, it's still hot here in the mornings. But mornings aren't too bad. Like when we get out, it's like it's in the like upper 50s in the morning here, and then it gets to the 80s. Naomi says, I've been going off the rails since my kitten got killed. Be kind of going like I am okay, but not okay at the same time. And sometimes you're just not okay. And being not okay is okay. It's fine to not be okay. Sometimes we're just not okay. Like I've been listening to a lot of Gary Vee recently, and he's a motivational speaker in the entrepreneurial space. So he's like how to utilize social media to get ahead and to promote a business. And I've been listening to a lot of him, and people are coming in like, how do I handle this? Like my mom died, or my father died, or whatever, and I'm trying to balance this. And he's like, you don't, you know, talk to your boss. What do I do? What do I, like, I don't want time off. Like if you don't want time off and you want to stay in the office because you just need the distraction, but hey, I'm going to be here for the next, maybe for 2 weeks. I'm going to be at like 65%, 50%. I need to be here, but I'm not going to be all the way here. And, talk with your boss. It's like, and so in this instance here, do the best you can. You understand if you're off the rails. You understand, obviously we want to get to a place where our emotions and our food isn't tied so strongly together. But that's a huge ask. It really is a big, big ask for us. A lot of us have emotional eating issues, especially when it comes to big emotions. Death, whether it's a pet or a family member. I've had to deal with issues of just little stress, little issues that I have that drive me nuts, and I'm like wanting to go to McDonald's. I have been utilizing the fact that McDonald's has Coke Zero to play on that stress instead of going and getting French fries and McNuggets and things. I'll go and get a large Coke Zero. Should I be drinking that much soda? Absolutely not. But I still have the action of giving in to something. I have the action of going through a drive-through. I have the action of, okay, I'm giving in to something and I'm having my Coke Zero or whatever, my Coke, like the Coke Zero, I'm having it. So it gives me feel like I'm still kind of giving in, but I'm making a better choice. So, I don't, but I understand sometimes it's just okay to not be okay. We just have to not be okay sometimes. If we're going to live this life, we're not going to be okay 100% of the time. We're going to have stress. We're going to be depressed. We're going to be sad. There's the idea that we can be happy and content 100% of the time is ridiculous. We can't. We're not going to win every day. Some days we're not going to succeed every day. We're going to lose. We have to be prepared for the losses. And part of it is understanding that in some cases we have to get up and put our big kid pants on and we have to muscle through. And sometimes we have to know when to just take the L and lay in bed all day. There are days where things happen where you just can't. You can't. You have to take that not okay and put it over here and just go through the day. And some days you can just say, okay, I'm not okay. I'm going to take the L and I'm going to go and I'm just going to have a bowl of popcorn and watch TV all day. I'm going to watch Netflix all day because I just need that reset or whatever you need to do. Because some days you're just not going to be okay. And that's okay. I have those days where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to go into the lives. I'm not going to watch any YouTube videos or comment on any videos. I'm just going to watch like maybe Netflix or something, or just put on some days, to be honest, some days I need a day away from the community. I'm very heavily involved in this community. I'm in lives almost every day, whether in the chat, sometimes joining in on camera. I'm in this all the time. Some days I just need to not be here. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Some days I just need to do something else. Some days I don't want to think about carnivore. I don't want to think about keto. I don't want to think about cholesterol and all that. I don't want to think about leptin, and I don't want to think about, you know, oxalate dumping, and I don't want to think about weight loss, and I don't want to think about that. I just want to not be here. And someday, I mean, and that's it. Like some Saturdays, a lot of Saturdays, I just get up and I'll get Chandra out of work and I'll sit and, like, if there's a TV show that I want to watch, that's what I'm doing on Saturday. I'm just gonna watch. There's been a couple of shows that I've watched without Chandra because she's not interested, or I'll try to watch a show because I like the spy, the like a good, well written spy drama, a good, well written like gangster drama, like Gangland, which is based out of the UK with like Tom Hardy and Helen Mirren as a crazy crime boss wife. Come on, you don't get better than that. That's awesome. I love that. I get sucked in. I like got sucked into Landman. I got sucked into Yellowstone. I got stuck. That Taylor Sheridan guy, he just knows how to write a show. And I kind of started the other day trying to watch 1833 or whatever it is, because it's got Sam Elliott in it. And I'm like, hell yeah, Sam Elliott, let's go. Um, some days it's okay. I mean, you just gotta. The idea that we're going to be okay every day is ridiculous. We're just not. We're not going to win every day, and we have to understand that that's going to happen, and we have to understand how to make it through. And we have to understand that some days you have to give in. Now, that may be a very unpopular opinion. Some days, I mean, some days you just got to. Just V says, I'm sad to say goodbye to Luna the doggy. I was dog sitting. It's been 6 months I've gotten attached to her. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sorry about that, Josephine. Maybe visit the dog? I'm not sure. I don't know what the situation is. And Mary T says to Naomi that there's only one cure for that. Your kitty would want you to have another cuddler. I never replaced, but so many kittens need a home. Yeah. And Travers says that South Park is a family show. I would disagree depending on the age of your family. Like our family, sure. I mean, we wouldn't show it to our granddaughter. It's just not, she's not going to understand it. It's just going to go over her head and it's not going to be all right. Lynn says, I'm glad that it's all working out well for you and Chandra, Dustin, since your hotel is open and just an adjustment and it'll be fine. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Brian says, yes, Dustin. Feel the old fart flow through you. Yeah, yeah. And Travers says, every man needs his cave. Yeah, I mean, I never realized how important that is until I had this little spot. Because I had initially set it up where I had like over there, like with my office stuff, and I had these chairs over here. I was going to put the chairs here. That's why I put the TV here. So I could have my work over there and come over here, maybe have friends come over, maybe watch a movie in here and just relax and have a place to come and chill and hang out. Maybe have friends come over, a buddy come over, watch a movie, whatever. That's why I got the 65-inch TV for in here, and then ended up being what I edit on. And no one ever comes over to my house, so there's that. But you know, let's see. Amy says, refresh my memory, Dustin. Was that the Hollyland Lark? Let me look up and see what I've got here. Hold on. Let's see. I'll tell you exactly which two I have. Oops, let me go to Amazon. So I have the Hollyland Lark M2, which is only $109 right now. and it comes with the camera attachment. It comes with lightning and the USB-C. Just this is the one that I have right here. This is the M2, and this is the Lark A1, and you can get the one with both. It's $70 for this one that has both lightning and USB-C. Um, at $69, or if you get this version with just USB-C, it's $49. And they obviously have more expensive ones. They have ones that have internal. They have some that are like internal recording that do 32-bit float. And if you're into editing and understand audio, that makes sense to you. Otherwise, it does not. But when I record my voiceovers, I do so in 32-bit float when I export it out to DaVinci Resolve. But yeah, so yeah, they have quite a few. They have a few of these, and I can put I don't know, and let me know, and I'll send you a link, Amy, if you want to purchase it through my link, because that would be very helpful, and I would appreciate that very much. Amy says, I just found an $80 gift card, so I'm going to buy them. Yeah. And then you can get these little bitty like US lightning to USB-C adapters if you need to, because if you have a case on your phone, they may not fit, because like my case. So if you take like this right here, so my phone here is in a case because I couldn't have a $1,200 phone and not put it in a case. But see, then you take like the little adapter here and you try to stick it in. Well, it's not even up on the camera. If you try to stick it in, it doesn't go all the way in. It's too, yeah. But I've got adapters for that. All right. So Chandra just messaged me. She's not going to get it looked at because her friend looked at the photos and said, if it gets worse, come see me, but it doesn't look bad right now. And then she's going to have lunch with her friend. So, all right. But yeah, I'm getting through here. I'm like 24 minutes behind. Reese is telling Aaron she watched her video today. Did you figure out the issue with the mower? And Aaron says her husband's going to look at it tomorrow. And Reese is asking Aaron, do the kids help you with the farming and the house? They are so adorable. And Mary says, too many people, when hearing something good about someone else, only hear, and you don't. Yeah, I mean, the negativity runs so deep. And I think we're in a society where we take someone else's success personally, we take it as a slight against us. And people who get, who become extremely successful, we get very angry with them because we're not successful. And I understand that there's a level of success some people reach that most people never will. But I think that when it comes to, and how I try to look at YouTube and content creation, because I know that there's or not a lot of it, but a little bit of that in our community when it comes to YouTube channels, and how some don't get along with each other, or they get kind of jealous, or you're going live at the same time as me or whatever. And I'm thinking, I try to not go live at the same time as other YouTubers because I want to watch their stuff usually, or I don't want to step on toes. But I also understand that there's only so many hours in a day that people are actually going to watch. I mean, sure, you can go at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. on the East Coast, but I mean, you're not going to get a bulk of your people are going to watch. So then it's kind of a silly thing to do. And I mean, I even kind of thought about that when I decided to go 7:30 on a Sunday morning. I was like, who's going to show up? But I was like, let's give it a shot. And it worked. It worked out, but I wouldn't have known if I didn't try. But I think so many of us have got this in our head that your success means I'm a failure. Or I'm a failure because you're a success. And I don't believe that that's true. It's not true here on YouTube because YouTube is one of the biggest and fastest growing platforms of all time. It has been since it was created in 2005. There's billions of views every day. There's 75 billion shorts views every day on this platform. Every 75 billion views a day on this platform. So one harsh truth about this platform though is if you are not getting engagement, if you are not getting the views you want, revisit the content that you're making, and are you making the best content you can make? Are you talking about the best topics you can talk about? I know it's deeply personal of what we make content about and what we talk about, but you can be deeply personable and deeply invested in what the content you're making, but that doesn't mean that people are going to watch, because people have to be looking for your content at the same time. So, I mean, that does make we have a very niche content. We have a very niche community here. Now, keto and carnivore and those things do trend, and they do ebb and flow in the trending, and keto will rise and carnivore will go, and then they'll kind of overlap. And then, and there are something like we saw like the phenomenon with the sugar diet for about a month and a half, 2 months. All you saw was stuff about the sugar diet. All these channels, keto, carnivore, were like, I'm going to try the sugar diet because it was a trending thing and they were trying to make content to get views. Now, one thing I like about going live and making content also and doing, because I try to be as well rounded as I can. I mean, I'm putting shorts out, I'm putting long form content, I do lives. I don't necessarily go live, like the short lives or whatever, like the vertical lives, because they're more, should be, when I'm flipping through those, I don't really see a lot of compelling content. I see a lot of people, like, especially with like TikTok and stuff. If you're looking through the lives on TikTok and YouTube lives, like YouTube vertical lives, there's a lot of people just kind of sitting there being recorded, scrolling on their phone, not really interacting with people. Or there's a lot of people who have a camera facing them and they're just doing something, not really interacting with the crowd or interacting with the chat. I see a lot of preaching. I see a lot of content from other countries and languages that I don't understand. So I don't know exactly what they're talking about. And that's cool. But I mean, I like the idea that I can get that information. You'll scroll through and you will see information or videos or people going live from other countries, like doing their job. They're in a food stall. They're making food for people all day. You can watch it all day. I think that's extremely fascinating, extremely cool. But I think you have to be kind of picky and choosy about what will work and what won't. I see a lot of tarot card readers on there, both for, I don't know why. I just see a lot of tarot card readers. Um, I see video of people asleep, which is weird to me. But I think, short form or the vertical live content, I think, is very saturated right now. But I think it's so saturated, and I say saturated, but I don't think it's not saturated with content like this. I don't think it's saturated with compelling content. There's nothing. I can scroll and scroll and scroll and not find anything that's uniquely compelling. And by compelling, I mean, like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but a live like this where I am interacting with you, talking with you, answering questions, we're discussing topics. I try to show up with topics. Whether or not those get discussed or not, it's a whole other story. Because I do want to touch on the Southwest. I do want to touch on the Southwest new policies about oversized passengers and having to buy extra seats and things. Because I have opinions that may be, surprising to some people. As somebody who has flown and been terrified that I'm going to have to buy another seat and can't afford it, or they're going to kick me off the plane. But I'm just curious. I just think that there's a lot of ability out there to have that. And I think that, coming back to Mary's point, is a lot of us need to work on that, looking at somebody's success and being happy for them and understanding that success isn't spiteful to us and it's not a detriment to us. They're successful. We should be able to be successful too. And for whatever reason you're not successful or not finding success, that is what needs to be internalized. Not the fact that they are successful and you're not, but why aren't you successful? It's not most likely not their fault. But anyway, I digress. We'll get back into the chat here. And Brian Doyle's in the house. Good morning, Brian. I'm glad to see you, my friend. And there were some things that I said the other day that I don't know if you were there to hear them. So if you want to go back and listen to that Sunday, there was some stuff that I said because I don't want you to think I was take personal what I was saying directly to you. We were talking about the GLP-1s and my thoughts on those. And I don't want anybody to think anything is personal because all these things, whether you're taking a GLP-1 or having weight loss surgery, that's deeply personal. And we need to make sure we're making the right decisions for ourselves. And my opinions have no bearing on whether or not you should or shouldn't do something. If you've looked at the risks versus rewards and you found that that's something that you need to do for yourself, I support that. I may not agree with it, but I'll support it because if you have done the due diligence and looked at what you need to do and you're doing what you think you need to do, I'm here for it. Even if I don't agree with, because I definitely don't agree that probably 90% of people using GLP-1s right now probably don't need to be on them. But it's the in vogue major drug right now, and everybody's trying to get a hold of it because they think that it's going to help fix whatever they've got going on. And I don't think it's a fix. I think it's a Band-Aid, and it might help people get to a place where they can take control, but I don't think that's how it's being utilized. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you were under that's what I was talking about. And I'm never here to insult anyone. I'm never here to hurt anyone's feelings my opinions are my opinions, and I don't expect anyone to agree with me on everything. And if you share your opinion with me, it may change my opinion, but that doesn't mean I expect my opinion to change anybody else's. Let's see. Brenda Foley is working and lurking. Working and lurking. I love it. That's a new thing. Hope it catches on. And Amy's on a work call. We'll have a good one. Tony Delisle is in the house. Good evening, sir. I hope you're great. I hope you're fantastic. Let's see. I don't know who that is and why they're calling me, but Tony Delisle's in the house. Good morning, sir. So glad to see you. Not late at all. We're here. We're having a good time. I'm late getting to your late getting your comment 25 minutes ago. Let's see. Sean said, just after Shell had our third child, she had her gallbladder removed. After she got it removed, her staples opened and she was bleeding pretty badly. I rushed her to the ER. The nurse there thought, I have to get to the next thing down here to see what he says. Helen says, I need to buy some of them small mics to do my vlogging, as my vlogging in shops now. Some content. Yeah, I say, I don't know if my affiliate link will work for you, but I'll send it to you again, Helen. I don't know. Because I get like 3% on your sales. If you spend like $40, I win like $1. So, but every little bit helps these days. Carrie said Apple didn't want any more storms with lightning. Well, the reason Apple went away finally from the lightning cable is they got sued in the UK and had to change their ports to USB-C. So USB-C is the new iteration. It was like USB-A, and people want to know like what a USB-A port is. Let me see if I have. I don't think I have anything within reach right here where I can show anybody. But USB-A is when you think of a USB cable, that's what it is. And then there's like the micro, the mini, like what the micro or whatever, or the mini. The mini, I think, is what was with BlackBerry. The mini was what was on phones in like the 2010s to 2011. And then USB-C came around, and USB-C is like that oval hole there where like it can go either way. So it doesn't have to go one way or the other. I know somebody was asking what USB-C was down there a little bit ago. Oh, Sean says, thought I was the biggest POS because they thought I had shot her. Imagine their relief when they found it wasn't that bad of a guy. Well, I don't think you're that bad of a guy. I don't think you're that bad of a guy. Mary T says, the hard thing about child protection is I can't talk about it to anyone other than my coworkers. The good news is the kids in care are amazing. I love them. They make my day every time I see them. And there's things that Chandra can't tell me. You know, she has to be vague and, and things. And, but she can tell me enough to get it out of her mind. I mean, you can't necessarily talk about extreme facts of a case. You can't tell me she can't tell me names, room numbers, and all that stuff. But she can tell me enough to get it out of her brain. Oh, she's back. Back again. Let's see. Lindy has to go. Well, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad we got to see you for a little while. Lynn said, I worked 72 hours on the weeks I worked, but I'm a night owl and loved it. It was a busy hospital. Time went fast. I loved all the time off. Oh, I bet. Joe's sleep is in the house. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Sherry said, it used to be called Netflix and chill, but that has a whole different meaning today. Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes Netflix and chill is a good thing to do. And no, you're not still watching. Joe said, I love Mobland. Oof. And it's 1883. I've only got 10 minutes into it so far, so I have no idea. I know that Yellowstone was fantastic. Yellowstone was fantastic. I imagine if it's and Landman was fantastic, which is another one of those Taylor Sheridan shows. So the fact that 1883 has I just said his name in it, and then the 1923 is the next season or the next series going on with that as well, and that's got Han Solo in it. But he's also in a show on Apple called Shrinking. He's in that. It's called Shrinking, and it's got that's a good show too. That's a show I watch and just cry. You'll cry every episode. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Carrie said I watched a couple episodes of Airwolf and then I'm okay. Oh, I need to go back and watch Airwolf. I remember watching it as a kid, but I don't remember anything about it. And there was an awesome helicopter. Risa said, my son found South Park when he was 9. We were on vacation in a hotel. TV only had 2 channels. He didn't understand, but he enjoyed it. So South Park came out when I was a junior. I was a junior in high school when South Park came out. And that was the first 6 episodes. That's all you saw were those first few episodes. It felt like forever for them to put new ones out. Now there's 30 seasons and I have no idea what's going on. Lynn said, what you're describing is called retirement, Dustin. That's totally my life, doing whatever the heck I want every day. I worked a million years. I kind of deserve a happy retirement. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and Sherry's asking what is USB-C. USB-C is the small type of connector. Let me see if I have something down here. I know I have stuff down here. USB-C is this one, like this. This is USB-C. I don't know if you can see it. It's just what comes with phones now. It's the basic phone connector now. I don't think there was a USB B because that would be USB B. That'd be weird. So it was USB A, which is the original, then the USB C, but there was micro and mini. Yeah, you can kind of go back and look at all the different ones. Yeah. So let's see if I can hustle through this because I've got some stuff to do today. This is almost 2 hours. Naomi says, I still have 4 kittens to cuddle with. Two went. Oh, yeah. Staying late. The other two came along with Mama Cat as a result of distribution system along with the one I lost. Okay. USB-C is a small USB that most Android and computers have. Yeah, like it's also the same as lightning cable. Lightning cables are also not lightning. What's the Thunderbolt cable also is USB-C. Yeah, newer iPhones use them because they got sued into using them because they were using a connector that nobody else used. And then they had to, yeah, so it was just a big pain in the butt. Mary T says, I tried so hard to retire, now working 3 jobs. My new jobs keep asking me to submit my goals. Lady, I'm 67 years old. My goal is to do a good job while I'm here, then retire forever. That's my thing. Is like, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Hopefully not here. You know what I mean? Like, and I think like I remember like when I interviewed for UPS, the UPS store, and I probably should have lied to them, but I was very honest with the man that I was interviewing with. He was younger, um, younger than me, and he was like, do you see yourself going into management? And I'm like, nope. Because I mean, I don't want it. I just wanted a job. I just wanted to come to work, and go home. I didn't want because I mean, I'm trying to grow things here, and like here's where my focus is. My family's where my focus is, and really, I'm just looking to do something that just brought a little bit of income. And I didn't want to have to go in and be like, try to impress people. I just want to come in, work, and go home. But that's not what they wanted. They wanted somebody they could turn into a manager and all. I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. That's like the whole thing. Like, I can go work at McDonald's. I'd be a 46-year-old working at McDonald's, happy working fries. You know what I mean? I don't care. Put me in the fry machine. I'm gonna make fries all day. I don't care. And I can go home and do my stuff. I want to be what's the word I'm looking for? I want to be whatever the word is. I can't think of it right now. Yeah. My brain doesn't work sometimes. It's fine. Lynn said, I forgot all about the sugar diet. I actually even have a t-shirt. I have a sugar diet t-shirt on my spread shop. So go to my links at ketosimple.shop and check it out. Terry Sue says it's thundering here, getting ready for a summer storm. However, no rain is in the forecast. Just lightning and thunder and possible power outages. Gross. Nobody likes that. I'm very sorry for that. Lynn said, I've never thought of you as being judgmental, Dustin. You just put the info out there for us, and the one reason you will make a great health coach. Well, I appreciate that, but I just got to make sure that I understand that I can say things that may sound judgmental. And again, we can internalize things that people say and personalize those and internalize them. And I always just want to make sure I reiterate that because I think it's so very important and valuable. Jeanette says, I'm a case manager and I can vent to my husband in a code kind of way so I can get it out of my brain as well. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't necessarily tell me all the things, but she tells me what she needs to tell me to get it out of her head, you know? And Jeanette says, I'm so struggling right now. My daughter is in the hospital and she's 2 hours away. This weekend was rough, but trying not to use food. My yard is mostly done. Yeah, I mean, you can put that elsewhere, but be mindful of that because a slippery slope too. I mean, we got to make sure that we're not like some people throw themselves into work. Like Chandra had an ex-coworker that her husband just passed away. They were trying to be healthy and they were walking and they actually passed away while they were on a walk. So I imagine, and she's already somebody who would throw herself into work and work extra days and work extra hours and work multiple hospitals. And I imagine that's only going to get worse because that, you lose your person. You're only going to throw yourself into that kind of stuff. So we have to be mindful about that. So Terry Sue said, was a super good show. Liked it better than 1920. I liked it better than 1923. Yeah, I figure they can't all be the best, but I'm hoping for Landman season 2. I hope that's going to be good. There's supposed to be a season 2 of Mobland. There's something about like the whole like the London side of things, and there's a show out there that I've been watching. It's like a spy show about a spy who's been in the field too long or whatever, and now he's come back, and yeah, and it's kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes. And Sherry says, "This is the whole reason why I retired at 62. Lost a job, but could not find another. I just wanted to work. I did not want to be a manager anymore. It was part of why I sold all and moved." Yeah. I mean, like, um, yeah, I mean, I, because typically when you go look for a job, you're trying to be a go-getter. You're trying to move up. You're trying to be, like, I don't know why the words aren't coming to me right now. It's probably a little stroke. But like you motivated and you want to be like, you want to just be, you're hungry for it. I just wanted to go and have a job and I didn't care. I didn't want to be promoted. I didn't want to worry about it. I was like, pay me at least like 15, $20 and I'll be happy. Just enough to, work maybe, 6 hours a day. I didn't need anything special, you know. I don't know. Terry's like subservient. No, because I mean, like, what is it, like a go-getter? Like where you want to go and you want to get promoted and you're trying to kiss ass and all that stuff. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want that. I just wanted to go to work, do the job while I was there, not really care about it that much. I mean, like if I'm working McDonald's and I'm flipping burgers or doing the fries, I don't really care. You know what I mean? But yeah, Terry said, whenever I got promoted at different jobs, I always hated having the extra responsibility. Then you get bored and promote again. I think sometimes like just getting promoted is the only way to get real raises. Like if you can get promoted like every year or two, then you're going to go a lot farther than like staying in the same position for 40. That's like anymore. You have to switch jobs every 2 to 3 years or you're never going to make any money. Like loyalty to a job, there's no loyalty. There should be no, I mean, there's no loyalty to the workers anymore from like 99% of jobs. So I mean, I've had, 2 jobs in my life where I was there for a decade or better. So I was at a job for 9 years and one for 12, well, almost 10. I would have been 10 if I stayed just like another month or whatever. But I ended up leaving and like it was just time. I mean, you're just like if you're in a job long enough for it to fall apart, you're there too long. Because most times you get to a new job and it's good. The work environment's good, the culture's good. But over time, the culture and the work environments almost always erode. They never get better. And like raises get less and less and less. Like you're getting a 15-cent raise for a year, and they're like, you did such a great job. This is all we can give you. But that's not true. But anyway, we are almost at 2 hours. And I want to say thank you all so very much. I didn't even get a chance to touch before we go here. Let me go ahead and touch on this idea here about the idea here. What I want to talk about or should I talk about the Southwest in a separate video? I think I will touch on the Southwest stuff on another video. That was something that I was initially going to talk about here is Southwest Airlines ripped over controversial new plus size passenger policy, worse for everybody. But so the assigned seats are already rolling out. Nobody wanted that. Southwest was great because you can sit where you wanted. You can just get on and sit where you wanted to sit. You had to worry about it. And they had free bags. You could fly with 2 bags, and they're ending that. And because they got bought by some like big investment group. So they got bought by some big company. So that company doesn't care about the job. They didn't care about the people anymore. And now they're going to do this whole thing about the second seat mandatory. But I don't know what, how big do you need to be? There's no way to know. Let's see. You have second seat is mandatory if you're too big. Now, my thing is people get angry about that. But as a bigger person, I understand because like you're sitting in a seat, say you're in the middle seat and you're taking up a third or maybe a little of each of the other seat on the side of you, and you're taking up their seat too, like, and they're squished because you're so big. How is that fair to the other passengers? And I mean, and the airline can't just sit no one next to you because then they're losing out on that seat, and they got to pay for the fuel. Airline fuel is expensive. Flying is expensive for them. I mean, and I don't like agreeing with a company for this kind of stuff, but at the same time, like, I understand, because if you're that big, I think it's how they handle it, and like what the threshold is. Is there like, are you this many inches over the other seat? But I mean, if you're in the other seat at all, but at the same time, airlines are seem to be making the seat pitch smaller and smaller. The seats seem to get skinnier and skinnier, and people just keep getting bigger and bigger. Let's be 100% real here. People are getting bigger, and airline seats are not. So realistically, it's a lose-lose to everybody involved. I understand why, an airline can't leave a seat open for you because they're losing revenue. That's $500, however much the airline ticket costs, $150, $200, $200, especially now they're trying to nickel and dime you. And I mean, I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. I mean, the idea of it is like, okay, it sucks, because I was always terrified of getting on a plane and the seatbelt not fitting. And I never had to use a seatbelt extender, but I probably should have. It would have made my flight so much more comfortable, because I would click it and it would be so tight. I'd be just kind of sitting there, I couldn't move. If I would have just got the seatbelt extender, had I realized that you can do that on your way in, as you walk by the flight attendant and say, "Hey, I'm going to need a seatbelt extender. Can you bring me one of those?" But I was terrified that if I asked, they would be like, "Well, you need to buy another seat. And this is a sold out plane, so you have to go do something else." And I'm like, I've got stuff to do. I pay for a hotel. I pay for Airbnb. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that, it might be something that Shannon and I do from now on. I mean, because we're bigger. I mean, we're trying to lose weight, but we're still bigger. But I mean, if we could, buy 3 seats, she sits the window, I sit on the aisle, and there's a middle seat open. Perfect. Depends on how much that costs. So, but anyway, with that, I think we'll go ahead and end it right there. Again, thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. I love you all. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're over 2 hours today. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the credits, and we'll see you next Tuesday.